Ethan steps onto the wooden porch of Cabin 17. The mountain air is thick with fog, the woods are dead silent, and he is entirely alone. Then the front porch light flickers and dies. 3 sharp knocks echo from the heavy wooden door. He opens it, but the porch is empty. Peering into the darkness, he hears a voice whispering his name from the tree line, and the voice sounds identical to his own. This instinctual dread is rooted in human folklore that stretches back thousands of years. Modern internet horror stories, like the one playing out at Cabin 17, are new iterations of humanity's oldest survival warning: do not answer a voice in the dark. This warning appears in cultures across the globe. In the 1st century, Roman naturalist Pliny wrote of a beast in Ethiopia called the krikata, which was said to imitate human speech to coax travelers out of their homes. In Slavic folklore, the leshy mimics the voices of family members to lead people off trails. When European settlers reached the deep woods of the American South, these myths evolved. By the 19th century, miners in isolated coal camps spoke of the talking holler, pockets of land where the earth seemed to borrow human tongues, echoing a miner's name right before a cave-in struck. These legends endure because they exploit our biological wiring. Human neurology is programmed to react immediately to certain auditory triggers, like the sound of an infant crying in distress, or the cadence of our own spoken name. Unlike a wolf or a bear, the mimic doesn't hunt by stealth or sheer force. It uses your own empathetic and social programming against you, weaponizing the urge to help, or curiosity, to pull you away from safety. Folklore tells us this creature doesn't hunt for meat, it hunts for a reaction. According to lore, the act of answering is what officially invites the mimic in. Back at Cabin 17, Ethan ignores the ancient rules. He calls out to the voice in the trees, then slams and locks the heavy deadbolt. But it's too late. The entity has already bypassed the door. He turns toward the bedroom and freezes. Standing in the dim light is a shadow. It matches his height and is wearing his clothes. As his eyes adjust, he sees that it wears his exact face. For a second, it acts like a perfect reflection. Then it breaks the mirror. The figure turns its head and takes an independent step forward. A stolen voice is a trick to lure you, but a stolen face is the ultimate omen of doom, recognized across human history. In early folklore, the physical double was seen as a supernatural warning. In Celtic mythology, encountering your fetch in the dark meant your life was about to end. The Germanic doppelganger served the exact same purpose. Seeing your duplicate was a signal of impending death. As society industrialized through the Victorian era, this threat evolved into the Gothic double. The monster moved out of the wild forest and took residence inside the claustrophobic walls of the domestic home, and more accurately, inside the human mind. Writers of the time engineered this psychological horror to explore polite society's repressed vices. Robert Louis Stevenson gave this concept its most famous shape with Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, manifesting the decay hiding beneath a civilized exterior. The function of this literary device is to force the protagonist into a corner. They are made to stare directly at the darkest, most uncomfortable realities of their own character, stripped of any polite excuses. The true dread of the doppelganger comes from the fracture of the self. It forces us to realize that we might not be entirely unique, and worse, we might not be in control of our own identity. Inside Cabin 17, the camera drops to the floorboards. We hear the heavy click of the deadbolt locking from the inside. From the darkness, a voice that sounds exactly like Ethan whispers, "Your turn." The next morning, Ethan is gone. The cabin is empty, except for a framed family photograph hanging on the living room wall. One face in the picture has been violently, aggressively scratched away. While we fear the physical attack, the true threat in these legends is existential erasure. The legend of the mimic endures because its ultimate consequence is complete replacement. The rapid advancement of digital technology has pulled the mimic out of mythology, transforming the ancient threat into a 21st century reality. Software can now process human biometrics, scanning facial geometry and speech cadences to generate an identical digital replica. This technology is already deployed to impersonate you. Scammers use stolen identities to call family numbers in your exact voice, manufacturing panic with perfect imitations. We live in an era where an entity you cannot see can flawlessly steal your voice and wear your face, which means that old Appalachian rule is more urgent now than it has ever been. If you hear yourself calling from the dark, do not answer, because something else already has your identity.